As you know, the City of Detroit Police Department, City of Warren, Centerline, Highland Park, Hamtramck, Wayne County Sheriff, Michigan State Police, all branches, we say thank you for serving our country, and we're doing this for you. Happy Veterans Day. Hope you enjoy yourself. The first part was for you, the second part is really for you. Thank you.
He was born in the city of Detroit, but he earned his stripes across the country. Portland, Maine, Los Angeles, California, a little town in Ohio, and now the big city of Detroit, where he leads the force. Please welcome the Chief of the Detroit Police Department, James Grant. Thank you. A little town in Ohio.
You know, really, my remarks will be brief and on point, because really it is, as Captain Lee said, it's about you, it's about the veterans, it's about us saying thank you to you, your sacrifice, your family's sacrifice. That matters. That really matters. We wouldn't be here today if it had not been for you. So let's again give all of our veterans a round of applause. You know, I want to acknowledge, and I know Tim Leach, Captain Tim Leach is still working, but I want to acknowledge him and Officer Black, the one and only Officer Black, and the team from the 11th Precinct for a job well done. You know, I got to tell you, I've seen a lot of things in my short time here back home, but and I was talking to the council president, and I said, you mean to tell me we're blocking off 8 Mile? And is the captain doing it? Yeah. I mean, that's the story. You agree? But I want to also thank Chief Logan, because, and Chief Logan, I think he's walking away. I want to thank him because during my first year, you know, it was Chief Logan was kind of a brainchild of this, and to see this festivity grow to the magnitude, I say to you, thank you for your service. You know, City Council President Brenda Jones, thank you for always supporting the first responders. City Councilor Scott Benson is here somewhere. Scott? I noticed you spent some time in Los Angeles together. I guess the weather today is about 85, 90, palm trees and beaches. Oh, I'm not homesick. I am homesick. And then council, vice council, and I think we have a couple of councils, so I don't want to miss anybody, but Willie Bill, if there's any other commissioners from the police commission, if you would please stand and be acknowledged. You hear me? Oh, much better. I want to acknowledge our friend Hugh Perkins. You know, Hugh has been a great friend to the police department, and I just want to thank you for what you do each and every day. Thank you. And can I ask you to come up for a moment, please? Our elected U.S. representative, yeah, we acknowledge her.
Today, I'm here just to acknowledge the amazing veterans who made commitment to our country and the freedoms we have today. We stand on your shoulders. I want to thank our chief for his leadership, because it means something when you recognize those who serve and make a difference. My job in Washington, D.C. Congresswoman is to make sure the United States, our government, keep our commitment to you. And I want you to know that in Michigan, we're one of the lowest in the country of getting benefits to our veterans. And we're going to change that. We're going to change that. And for all the organizations that are here, I want to say to every veteran here, please talk to your fellow veterans, your brothers and your sisters, and have them to contact VA, have them to contact my office if I'm their congressperson or whoever your congressperson is. It's our job to connect you and to remove barriers. If you're caught in one of those loops of trying to get your benefit, call our office so we can work with you and help you get what you deserve. And the last thing I want to say, women veterans, you are the most underserved in the country. Please, if you're a woman vet, get in touch with your VA and know your benefits and what you deserve. Women veterans disappear when they come back home. They don't seek the benefits. And I'll tell you one thing to motivate you. There was an 83-year-old vet who finally got in touch with VA, and after counseling and processing, he was entitled to $670 a month. And he received a retroactive check at 83. Please, you did the work. Now it's time for us to do the work and take care of you. God bless you and thank you, every last one of you, and your families who made the sacrifice as well. Thank you.
There's just so many people to thank. You know, when I look back, when I started in the Detroit Police Department, 1977, it was a Vietnam veteran that broke me on a job. So I want to give a shout out to all Vietnam veterans right now. And I had the great pleasure of meeting a 92-year-old, had the honor of taking a picture with him, a World War II veteran. Can you please stand and be acknowledged for your service and keeping us free? I know he's here. Oh yes, World War II veteran. And he still works every day, by the way. We think about our first responders, those men and women who wear this uniform, who keep peace and tranquility. And you know, each and every day, you know, 2 years here in Detroit, I will tell you that the Detroit Police Department, and I know this to be true, and some of the great organizations, the LAPD, that small town in Ohio, Cincinnati, Portland, Maine, and now back home to Detroit. These men and women are the finest of the finest in American policing, the Detroit Police Department. Give them a raise. Somebody say give them a raise. I'm with you. Who said that? We can keep talking. Say it again. So I'm going to close out because I meant to just want to thank everybody. I want to thank my executive team here. First Assistant Chief Chair, Assistant Chief Dolan, Assistant Chief White. All right. Certainly, and certainly not least, our command team. Can you be acknowledged? These are the captains, the commanders, the deputy chief that keep this machine moving each and every day. Please stand and be acknowledged. That's it. And I'm going to give a special shout out to the special response team. Those are the individuals that when the bell goes off, they're the ones that come in, not running from fire, but going to it to keep our neighborhood safe. So special response team, Detroit Police Department, please stand and be acknowledged. SWAT team in America right here. Stand up, champ. You're a SWAT officer too. You might be retired. And so to the remaining DPD family, the men and women, they have a special place with me in so many ways, but when you think about men and women who are serving here in the homeland, Some of them also double, having served our great nation abroad. I'm talking about our DPD veterans and our DPD officers. Please stand and be acknowledged. The greatest police department in America. Thank you. Certainly, all of our armed service partners, thank you. Major Sims, thank you for opening the door to your home today and making us feel welcome. Thank you for what you do. God bless America, God bless the city of Detroit, and God bless the DPD.
Outstanding. Your Chief of Police, James Gray. And now we will have the presentation of colors from the Michigan Veterans Foundation, followed by the national anthem from Sergeant Kevin Miller.
Would you please rise for the presentation of the colors? The Veterans of Foreign Wars, post 2233. Gentlemen, proceed with the colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me in a moment of silence on behalf of those who paid the ultimate price to protect and preserve the freedom we all enjoy. And we don't just talk about those of us who wore the uniform as military personnel, but we're talking about Detroit's finest as well. A moment of silence if you please. May God bless their souls. Now we'll have the playing of the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight over the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, sing us that star-spangled banner yet wave over the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Kevin Miller, 11th precinct, and an incredible voice. And now, for more remarks, please welcome Mr. Stover, Fairmount Central Vice President, People and Talent Development.
Thank you. First of all, very honored to be here. I heard our master of ceremony speak of Chief Craig being from a little city. And I I drove up this in Cleveland, Ohio. So I got you. For you. I just wanted to come up and talk not only as a representative of my company, Paramount Central, our local organization, Alpha Residence here on Ryan Road, but also as a veteran.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so he mentioned my title, VP of People and Talent Development, but I'm a soldier first. And I went through ROTC at the University of Cincinnati, and I can tell you, my time in the military is the most valuable lessons that I've learned throughout life. There are so many things that a soldier goes through, and so many things, skills, insight, knowledge that we gain as soldiers that is so translatable to the workforce. Now today, in human resources, there's one thing that I really look for, and that is commitment, commitment, commitment. That is what soldiers, veterans, that's what they bring to the table. Typically, there's three things all people want to know. They want to know, can I trust you? Are you committed? And do you care about me? That's a soldier. That's a veteran. You want to think of a veteran also as a friend. You know, a true friend would never leave you, nor try to, nor want to. That's a veteran. That's a soldier. There's not many people that will lay down their lives and die for you. That's a soldier. So like our master ceremony said today, when you see a veteran, thank that veteran. Hug that veteran. Because that's a true friend. Someone who will lay down their lives and die for you. So thank you to all our veterans. Thank you for your service. Thank you for allowing us to enjoy the freedoms and the liberties that we enjoy today, because without you, it simply would not be possible. I really, really love the time and opportunities I get to sit down and talk to a veteran. If you get a chance to do that, some of the stories that they'll share with you are incredible. The insight, the things they had to go through so that we can enjoy these freedoms and these liberties that we enjoy today. So I don't want to take up a whole lot of time. My comments are going to be brief with my comments, but more than anything, please give the veterans who are present here today a round of applause and thank them for their service. As I leave and step away and go back to that little town in Ohio, I just want to say one other thing here. And if there are any other human resource people that are present today, or anyone who has the power to give jobs, interview people, please look at our veterans. Please take a look at them and give them the opportunity, because they bring so many skills to the workplace. Again, that commitment, that trust, and that opportunity to give insight and pass things on to folks. Thank you for your time. Thank you, veterans.
Thank you, Reggie. Is this mic better? Yeah. Is this mic better? Okay, let me try this one. But Reggie, you made a very important point, and that is to make sure that our veterans.
Cut the other mic off.
To make sure our veterans have opportunities. The best employees at Fox 2 are not the people you see on the screen, they're the people behind the scenes, the veterans who know how to work the computer systems and the cameras and the technology that they put on the show every day. We could not do what we do without veterans on our workforce. I want you to know that. And if there are any employers here, please make sure you give veterans a chance. They know things, they can do things that the average person who hasn't had that training cannot do. So make sure when you interview them, you give them that extra margin of confidence and faith, because you will be rewarded. Our next speaker is Karen Sims, Major, Detroit Light Guard Honorary. Major.
Today, and they did something wonderful. So before I start, I need to let them come and show you what they did. They are amazing. Thank you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, officers, and veterans. Today is Veterans Day. I am more than honored to speak before you, one veteran to another. I come to you with 25 years in the military and more miles to go before I sleep. I have served in Iraq, I've served in Afghanistan, I've been all over the world, compliments of the United States Army. But no other occasion has proven to be any better than this one, where I get to speak before you. This day is observed around the world and has been known by other names, Armistice Day and Remembrance Day. It was changed to be called Veterans Day. How fitting. It was once a celebration of silencing of the cannons of World War I. Now it marks a day when nations around the world pause for just a moment in solemn pride and remembrance of the heroism of those who have served, those who are currently serving, and those who have died in our country's service. I ask you a question. How great a debt is owed to our veterans? Most Americans profess to truly love our veterans, especially at gatherings like these, on Veterans Day and Memorial Day. And while their feelings are usually very sincere, it's important for us to remember that veterans are defending our fronts, home and abroad, 365 days a year without complaint. The heroism and the valorous acts that have been demonstrated time and time again by veterans from past to present has been documented in over 18 domestic and 37 foreign conflicts, which is too many of them to name. But those of you out here that hear my voice and have been a part of it, or have had family members that have been a part of it, you know it's very personal. As soldiers, as veterans, I look out here and I see all of the services. Just because I stand before you as Army doesn't mean that I forget about the Marines, the Navy, the Air Force, the Coast Guard. All have done their part in serving this great country. They choose to serve the cause that is greater than self, many even after they knew they'd be sent into harm's way. And in this time of persistent conflict, for a better part of a decade, they have endured tour after tour in distant and difficult places. They have protected us from danger, and they have given others the opportunity for a much better life. Staff Sergeant Ramisha, a veteran of Afghanistan, articulated the essence of a soldier's heart in his statement that after he received the Medal of Honor. He said, "The joy comes from recognition of us doing our jobs as soldiers on distant battlefields, but is countered, and it's bittersweet, by the constant reminder of the loss of battle buddies. My battle buddies, my soldiers, my friends. I submit to you that we will never forget the sacrifice of our comrades, and neither will the Gold Star families who have to cope without the embrace of their loved ones. The innocence of their grieving children will be challenged by the dramatic change affecting the balance of security and comfort in their family front. The hearts of these families will feel the sharp sting of their loss, leaving them with only memories of their loving mom, dad, brother, sister, spouse, child, friend. Life as they have known it will be much harder from now on. Our debt to these heroes can never be repaid, but our gratitude and respect must last forever. For many veterans, our nation was important enough to endure long separations from our families, miss the births of our children, freeze in sub-zero temperatures, bake in the wild jungles, lose limbs, and far too often lose lives. Military spouses. Where would we be without military spouses? Military family as a whole. They have endured interruptions, frequent changes of addresses, and disproportionate share of parental responsibility. The children often had to deal with the changes in schools, separation from friends, and hardest of all, the uncertainty of whether or not mom or dad will live through their next combat tour. Veterans need each other. I, as a veteran, need you. I have miles to go before I sleep. There are many folks out here that can mentor me and continue to shape and mold me as I carry on the fight. It has often been said that without our veterans, America would be speaking Russian, German, or even perhaps Japanese. Regardless of which view of alternate history we take a look at, we do know that without our veterans of America, we would not be America. Veterans have given us freedom, security, and the greatest nation on earth. It is impossible to put a price tag on that. We do not mark this day each year as a celebration of victory, but rather as a celebration of those who have made victory possible. It's a day during which we keep our minds, the brave men and women of this nation, generations of them, we keep our minds on them, who above all else believed in and fought for a set of ideals. We keep the story of their sacrifice alive through our remembrance. We must remember them. We must appreciate them. With that said, as you entered the dining area here, you may have noticed the table set for one. To call your attention to this purpose, or the purpose of this table, it is reserved to honor our comrades who could not be here with us today. The tablecloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their motives when answering the call to duty. A single red rose in a vase reminds us of the blood given, the life of each of the missing and loved ones and friends who missed them. The vase is tied with a yellow ribbon to symbolize our continued determination to remember our fallen and account for our missing. A slice of lemon is on that bread plate to remind us of the bitter fate of those who will never return to us. There's salt also on that bread plate. It's very symbolic of the family's tears as they learned of their loved one's death. The candle is reminiscent of the light of hope, which lives on in one's heart. The light of America will always be the light in a world of darkness. The glass is inverted, for they cannot toast or drink with us today. The chair is empty. They are not here. Remember, all of you who served with them and called them comrade, who depended upon their might and aid and relied upon them, for surely they have not forsaken you. It is our hope this day that with the pride and honor, they will hear us as we honor their ultimate sacrifice to their country's call to arms. For years, our colors have represented a nation dedicated to liberty and freedom. They have been carried to many lands and inspired acts of valor which often demanded the ultimate sacrifice. Those who have come before us have paid for our right to carry on in their stead, for me to carry on in their stead. For wars are not won, nor freedom ensured by living alone. In honor of those who have given their lives in the defense of our nation, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and bow our heads as we take a moment of silence. God bless you all for being here. God bless our veterans, and God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Major Sanders. There is an unshakable bond between the men and women who wear the uniform. That is true of every branch of our armed forces. That is also true of the Detroit Police Department. You've all met James Craig and heard his comments. Now it's time to welcome his predecessor. He served admirably in uniform as well, the city of Detroit for many years. He is the former police chief of the city of Detroit's Police Department and the Grand Marshal of this year's parade. Please welcome Chester Logan.
Why is everybody looking so serious? This is a day to rejoice. As was stated, my name is Chester L. Logan. I was a Detroit police officer for almost 40 years. But prior to that, I had the pleasure and the honor to serve in, I think, the best branch of the service. And in that branch of the service was the best unit. And I also think I served in the best company. I was in the United States Army for 3 years. And I served in the 82nd Airborne Division. And for those of you that might have been there, I was in Charlie Company 3rd 325. We used to sing a song. Hopefully it won't offend anybody in here. But we had this little song when we ran and did PT, and it went something like this. The best damn paratroopers there is alive come from Charlie 3rd 325. And I really believe that. Before we go any further, there are two people, there are probably a lot more than two, but I'd like two people to raise their hand. Officer Robinson. Where's Officer Black? Where's Norm? Norm, just raise your hand. I see you walking down there. And those of you who haven't, one of the key things, and I think Major Sims mentioned it, one of the key things that keeps this country going is the support that we give our people in uniform, our men and women in uniform, and that's our families. It's so important that we stand up and stand behind our family members. And that's the genesis of the shirt. There's a limited number of t-shirts that we're going to be giving away today. But as you look at it, what it symbolizes is something that a lot of veterans suffer from. Not only veterans, but people at large suffer from PTSD. And one of the things that we wanted to bring to the forefront today was the fact that if you suffer from PTSD, you're not suffering alone. This shirt simply symbolizes that we're behind you. In my estimation, the plight of veterans in this country, it needs to be improved. You know, if you look at it, many of our veterans are homeless. Many of them are helpless. I had occasion last month to volunteer at an event for veterans. And there were so many family and friends that I knew that came through there. And all they're looking for is an opportunity to do better. I think that we as a nation, we're letting our veterans down. One of the saddest things I saw was yesterday, that of all the people in the United States of America on death row, 300 of them are veterans. Now, obviously, we've got to do a better job than that. So let's make sure that we gather around our congressperson, Congresswoman Lawrence, because she seems like she's going to be an advocate for veterans. And let's see what we can do to make the plight of veterans the way it should be. Having said that, I know everybody is hungry, and thank you all so much for showing up. This has been one heck of a day for us. Thank you.
Chief, and I still call you Chief, it's always good to see you. And you're always welcome, anytime, anywhere. Now please welcome Miss Julie Sema of 7D's Toll.
Good morning, honorary veterans, Mr. Tyrone Chapman, and all city officials here today. My name is Julie Sema, and I'm honored here today to celebrate this wonderful Veterans Day. I've been proudly working with the 11th Precinct for the last 26 years, which is a family-owned and operated business. I encourage other business owners that are here today to employ other veterans. I have a lot of respect for men and women who serve our city and our country. You put your life on the line for all of us. And I want to personally say thank you for making our country a better place to live. I also want to thank the police officers that are also veterans, not only serving the city of Detroit, but serving other nations of ours. This is one day a year that we honor our heroes, that I give us the freedom and give us freedom that is taken for granted. Being away from home and loved ones is not an easy task. These courageous warriors volunteer and risk their lives to make our country a better place. I am grateful to have met Mr. Tyrone Chapman through my Uncle Jack. My Uncle Jack left Iraq and came to Michigan in 1955, not knowing how to read or write English, and barely spoke any English. He started working for his Uncle Joe at the grocery store and learning how to clean and doing odd jobs to make some money. He learned to be a butcher. He looked very hardly and wanted to become a man to serve this wonderful country. He taught himself English, and by that doing so, he would go to the Easter market and learn as much as he can to save up and make his own business through his families. He dedicated his life to help the less fortunate. He fed the homeless and helped serve the veterans for many years, as he had made a point to himself of the men and women who sacrificed for their lives for him and all of us. He would say what he was doing was taking the sake of humanity. He felt that his duty to give back to our country meant peace on earth in his own way. Some people measured success by monetary wealth. However, Jack measured success by the amount of goodwill and one world he can do. Jack would serve hundreds of veterans all the time. He would feed them healthy cooked meals. He would encourage them all to eat healthy. And he would say, "You are what you eat." I would only feed them healthy food, and he would say, "They deserve it." I am grateful to have learned so much from Uncle Jack, and they've had experience to serve so many different stories from all the different veterans. I want to encourage all of us to continue working together and being there for one another, not only for Veterans Day, but for every day of our lives. Let us help one another make our country and our city, Detroit, a safe and better place. I hope and pray I can impact the lives as many of the veterans as my Uncle Jack has. God bless America, God bless you, and I know that you always be appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Timmon. You heard Chief Logan talk about it. We have to do something for our veterans to make sure that they are restored in body, mind, and spirit. Well, Tyrone Chapman has been doing that for a long time. He's with the Michigan Veterans Foundation, Detroit Veterans Center, Executive Director and CEO. And he has been fighting the good fight to make sure our homeless veterans have a sense of place and home and feel welcome. Please give it up for Tyrone Chapman.
Thank you all so very much this afternoon. I'm delighted to be here among our nation's patriots. It gave me a warm feeling hearing about your Uncle Jack. And please don't take this disrespectfully, but the way he spoke, he was out in the field cooking some food one day, and my staff said, "Hey, Mr. Chapman, there's some guy out there cooking food for homeless people." I go, "Well, who is it?" I go out and meet him, and he says, "Hey, I'm Jack Seaman. I'm here, and we can see peace in our lifetime if we all sit down and break bread together." And I'm reminded of that. Peace in our lifetime. Listen, I am a Vietnam veteran. Excuse me, Pastor, but I'm damn proud of it. That's right. You can give it up. I'll tell you why I say that today. Because obviously we came home to less than a hero's welcome. But I assure you of this. I never thought one day that I would receive the welcome, the negative welcome that we did while I was in combat theater. And as I say this, folk, soldiers are soldiers. We are not politicians. And regardless of how you feel about politics or who's in power, you must remember that when our leaders go on TV or in the news media and say, "We're going to get the bad guys," I know what that means. That means someone's son, someone's daughter, someone's aunt, someone's uncle is going to go away and do whatever it is that they are required to do. And it seems to me, if we are fortunate enough to make it home, we are owed a debt of gratitude. I'm reminded of a quote by the late Calvin Coolidge that says, "The nation which forgets its defenders may one day itself be forgotten." I have been in combat. I have led men in combat. And let me tell you something. It takes a brave individual to head towards harm than away from it. And as I look at you ladies before me, I want to pay tribute to you too. I say that because women are now serving in a role that they had not served in previously. They are leading combat units, they're flying sorties, they're doing all the things that their male counterparts are doing. But the other side to that is that, unfortunately, they are coming home with some of the same kinds of issues that their male counterparts are coming home with. The post-traumatic stress disorder, traumatic brain injury, loss of limbs, confined to wheelchairs, canes, walkers. I see those things. I see the effects of war. We are a program for veterans, led by veterans, and so they can tell us everything that we need to know so that we can help them regain their stability and make the transition from being a warrior back to being a civilian all over again. And so for me, it's not a job. It's an adventure because it's been a part of my healing. We talk about post-traumatic stress disorder. I am 30% service connected with PTSD. PTSD is not necessarily a bad thing. It's a clinical issue that has to be dealt with. And for most of us who came home from Vietnam being called some of the names that we were called, you'd have PTSD as well. But I say this on behalf of all of my brother veterans, those brave men and women who I served and fought with in the steaming jungles of Vietnam, many of whom are not here today. They served with pride and distinction as any of their predecessors have served. And so I say to you all who are here today, if you hail us as heroes while we are in uniform, you must hail us as heroes long after we've taken those uniforms off. Previous speaker, this has been a wonderful event for me today, certainly. That parade was absolutely outstanding, and waving to all the passerbys gave me a really, really warm feeling. So I say to all my brother Vietnam veterans, welcome home. To every man and woman who is in uniform, serving in whatever capacity you serve, I say to each of you, God bless you. God bless your families, and may God continue to bless the United States of America, the land of the free, because of the brave. Thank you all so very much.
Outstanding and heartfelt. I assure you, you're going to see him on Let It Rip very soon. Powerful words from the heart. We're going to close out with a few remarks from Chief Craig, Captain Leach, and we want to bring Ms. Chooney up to the stage too, to close us out.
And here's my closeout. Officer Black, to the front. Captain Leach, to the front. Come on up now. Captain Leach has got that little Detroit swag about him. Rest of your team, I want you to close it out because this is because of you, and I deeply appreciate your efforts and your vision to make this day special, so thank you.
Is hungry, so we're getting ready to eat, so can we have benediction? How about that?
We love her. Real quick, you guys, we like to thank the 11th Precinct community. Without the volunteers, my wife volunteered, without you guys, Miss Spellgood, who always makes sure we got everything going, Alpha Resign, all of people that donated or gave their time to make sure our veterans had a wonderful Veterans Day. We got plenty of food. Make sure you eat and enjoy the rest of your day. 11th Precinct Community in Detroit Police Department loves you. Thank you.
We have gifts. We always give gifts to the veterans, and we, as you see over in the corner, we have aphorism central control bags. Can everyone hear me? Okay, thank you. So we have gifts, we have gifts. Also, we have our t-shirts. We have a limited amount. If we don't get your t-shirt, then I can tell you the place where you go get one. They'll make it for you for a little charge, a little fee. But we do have t-shirts and gifts to give out to you. We have Ramona Truney here. She normally puts us in our budget. We call her Smell Good. You will get that also to our veterans. That's it. That's all I have to say. Let's pray.
Also, we'll be taking pictures in the back with the chief and with Chief Logan and Hughes Perkins.
Thank you so much. I have certainly enjoyed being here today. Jesus said it this way, that no greater love the man had than to lay down his life for his friend. So I want to thank all of my friends that I know and don't know for laying down your life for us. Let us pray. Father, your grace and your benediction be upon all. I pray your peace and your love. Give us to have connectivity and cohesiveness as a country, as a city, as a state. And Father, bless these veterans. Let them agree with your word and let them understand that the best of their life is the rest of their life. Now bless this food that we're about to receive, and we thank you for the service that will be given from the strength received. In Jesus' name, amen.